There are two kinds of dating methods, relative dating and absolute dating.
What is relative dating? In relative dating, they determine which things are older or younger based on their relationships. For example, they know that from geology that soil layers near the surface of the ground are usually younger than those deeper down. This relationship helps archaeologists know that objects we find deep in the ground are older than things we find closer to the surface. Relative dating is all about figuring out the order in which things happened in the past, without necessarily knowing exactly when they happened. It's likely putting things in chronological order, but without knowing exactly how many years ago they happened. Relative dating relies on set of key principles to establish the order of geological events and rock formations. These principles don't provide specific ages, but determine which rocks are older or younger relative to each other.
The image showcases three relative dating methods used in archaeology. Stratigraphy assumes older layers lie beneath newer ones, allowing archaeologists to sequence artifacts based on their depth. Seriation analyzes changes in artifact styles over time to determine relative age. Fluorine dating measures fluorine absorption in bones, with higher levels indicating older age. These methods help establish the relative age of artifacts and sites without providing exact dates.
In relative dating, there are 6 principles. First is the principle of superposition. It states that in a sequence of undisturbed sedimentary rock layers, the oldest layers are at the bottom and the youngest layers are at the top. This principle was formulated by Danish scientist Nicolaus Steno in the 17th century. As new sediments accumulate on the Earth's surface over time, they settle on top of previously deposited layers. This continual process creates a stock of sedimentary layers, with the oldest layers at the bottom and the youngest layers at the top. This principle provides a basic framework for interpreting the relative ages of rock layers and reconstructing the geological history of an area.
Principle of original horizontality. It states the sedimentary layers of rock are originally deposited in horizontal or nearly horizontal layers. This principle was first proposed by Danish scientist Nicolaus Steno in the 17th century. The concept behind this principle is that when sedimentary particles settle out of water or air to form rock layers, they do so under the influence of gravity. This process typically results in the formation of horizontal layers because particles settle evenly on top of each other on Earth's surface. Therefore, when observing undisturbed sedimentary rock layers, they are usually found lying horizontally or nearly so. Principle of lateral continuity. This principle states that the sedimentary rock layers extend laterally in all directions until they either thin out or encounter a barrier. It implies that when sediment is deposited, it tends to spread out horizontally in continuous sheets. In simpler terms, if you find a sedimentary layer exposed at one location, you can reasonably infer that the layer once extended continuously in all directions, even if it's now interrupted or absent due to erosion, faulting, or other geological processes. This principle is particularly useful in interpreting the relative ages of rock layers across large distances. Examples of relative dating. Principle of superposition. Ang mga layer ay inilalagay sa ibabaw ng isa't isa. Ang pinakamatanda ay sa ilalim. Halimbawa, sa isang sandwich, ang tinapay ang pinakailalim. Pagkatapos ay ang keso, kamatis at ang pang-ibabaw na tinapay. Principle of horizontality. Ang mga layer ay pahalang kapag inilalagay. Mas madaling gumawa ng sandwich sa isang patag sa ibabaw. At pangatlo ay principle of continuity. Ang mga layer ay umaabot sa gilid sa parehong pagkakasunod-sunod. Kahit na ang sandwich ay pinutol at pinaghiwalay, maaari mo pa ring itugma ang mga layer. Ang mga prinsipyong ito ay tumutulong sa mga arkeologo na maunawaan ang pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga kaganapan sa nakaraan nang hindi kinakailangang tukuyin ang eksaktong petsa.
Other principles of relative dating. Fourth, principles of inclusions. Fifth, principle of cross-cutting relationships. Sixth, principle of phonal succession. Relative dating, it focuses on order. It tells you if something is older or younger than something else, but not its specific age in years. It is to think of it as sequencing, like putting historical events in chronological order without knowing the exact year. It has methods, relies on principles like superposition, different layers are older. Fossil succession, certain fossils appear in a predictable order, and cross-cutting relationship features that cut-shoot layers are younger. Examples: finding a stone tool under a layer of volcanic ash tells you the tool is older than the eruption. Relative dating is useful for building a relative timeline of events in archaeology, geology, and paleontology.
Absolute dating methods measure the physical properties of an object itself to calculate its age. It provides a detailed timeline of geological and archaeological events. In short, absolute dating is to find the specific age of an object.
These are absolute dating methods: radiocarbon dating, thermoluminescent dating, dendrochronology, and optical stimulated luminescence.
This method measures the decay of carbon-14 in organic materials like bones, wood, and textiles up to 50,000 years old. Scientists can estimate the time since death by measuring the decay rate of carbon-14. Thermoluminescence dating. This method dates ceramics, burnstones, and sediments by measuring the light emitted from trapped electrons in crystalline materials when they are heated or exposed to light. The intensity of the light is proportional to the time since the material was last heated or exposed to sunlight. Third, optically stimulated luminescence dating. This method is similar to thermoluminescence dating, but it uses light to stimulate the emissions of trapped electrons. It focuses on minerals like quartz and feldspar, which trap electrons when exposed to sunlight. By measuring the light emitted, scientists can estimate the time since the sediment was last exposed to sunlight. Fourth, dendrochronology. This method dates wooden objects by analyzing the pattern of annual growth rings in tree trunks. Each ring represents 1 year of growth, and the pattern of rings can be matched to a master chronology to determine the exact calendar year when the tree was alive.
As we can see, this is an example of dendrochronology, tree-ring dating, comparing different trees to find the ring patterns. And also, how they measure it. They use measuring tape to measure the ring of the tree.
Earth history. Absolute dating helps understand major geological events like mountain, building, volcanic eruptions, and ice ages. Formation of minerals and rocks. It helps determine the sequence in which different minerals forms, revealing insight into the geological process that shape the Earth. Resource exploration. It is crucial in identifying geological formation that may contain valuable resources like oil, gas, and mineral deposits.
In conclusion, understanding both relative and absolute dating method is essential for constructing accurate timeline of our history and human activity. While relative dating provide insight into sequence of events and relative age of a rock and fossils, absolute dating offers precise numerical age together. This technique enhances our knowledge of geological process, archaeological findings, and evolutionary timelines, allowing us to piece together the intricate history of our planet and its inhabitants. By integrating both approaches, we can achieve a more comprehensive understanding of our past.